That's why I don't say when you want to succeed as bad as you want to eat, or when you want to succeed as bad as you want water. I say when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then and only then will you be successful. We ain't taking nobody's life, we putting kids through school. We connecting people with people so they can get interns and get opportunities. That's what happened when you confident. You're not jealous of nobody. You ain't got to hate on nobody. But when you're not confident, you're a dangerous person. Malcolm said the greatest person you should fear in life is the person that ain't got nothing to live for. Malcolm said, don't be in the alley with somebody that ain't got nothing to live for, because they'll take your life too, because they don't care about their own. Last one, ask. Who do I need to become in order to execute? Do me a favor. Greatest challenge sometimes we have is we're afraid to ask. Most humiliating time of my life was being an African-American man in Michigan State University, a classroom that was, let's just say, homogeneous for a boy coming from Detroit. I remember being in there, don't know what's going on. I was scared to ask. Some professional black people pulled me to the side and said, worst thing you could do is think that you're gonna be dumb. You're actually dumb by not asking. Raise your hand, look stupid, and don't be stupid afterwards. Let your pride and your ego go. And I did it. And it felt good after the third time asking. I started becoming like a guru at asking. And I started figuring out how to actually ask something. But because before I didn't really know how to ask, I would say it and you couldn't answer me because I didn't even know how to ask. And I became an expert at learning how to ask. Then I started reading my professor's books. I didn't even know they had books. And I would come to class and ask questions from their book. In your book about pedagogy, chapter 3, you mentioned centralization versus decentralization. When you said decentralization, it was specifically what were you referring? And give me an example of it. My man pulled me to the side. You read my book? I was like, yeah, I read your book. No, you read? Of course I read your book. My grade went from a 2.5 to a 4.0. Now listen to what I'm saying. I became some of you in this room, you think it's weak to ask. It's actually weak not to ask. Last one, ask. I don't want to go here, but it said, ask and you shall seek, knock. Simple. It's right there in the word. But you can't get what you don't ask for. I leave you. The giants of the past were great, but we need giants of the present. We need giants of the present. We need Malcolms of the present, Martins of the present, Family Lou of the present, Garvey of the present, Carter G. Woodson of the present, W.E.B. Du Bois of the present. Come on. So I realized I got a lot of work to do. That was the day everything clicked for me because of my history. And it was like, it's showtime, bro. You old Martin, you old Malcolm, they did not take us this far for us to go backwards. They took us this far so I can get a PhD, so I could write a book, so I could travel the world. So that's what woke me up that day. And you won't defeat me was not about you won't defeat me. It was like the good and the bad Eric. The other Eric is the one who's always destroyed me. It's never been nobody out there. It's been this Eric with some of the stupid, dumb stuff he'd be doing. And so I went against him and said, you won't defeat me. That spirit that has traveled from generation to generation, my uncles, my father, you will not destroy me. So that's who I was talking to myself. But I said, if you want to be a diamond, you got to go through what a diamond goes through. That's pressure, that's extreme heat, and then it's got to get cut. So most of us fall out, either the pressure too much, the heat too much, or we don't want to get cut. But to get to a certain level, you got to go through all that to get to where you are. So if the mission was on autopilot, we wouldn't need to be here. Right? So if justice just happened, our babies did what they were supposed to do, if it was on autopilot, we wouldn't need to be here. Right? For the mission to succeed, you need to take ownership.